Postal Service argued the Postal Service should be given relief from the provisions of FECA that create costly unintended consequences. Do you agree, and why or why not?
I believe that we should work closely with the Postal Service to address the requirements of the program. I believe we have an opportunity to work in partnership to address many of the issues that were discussed today. I think we share in a responsibility to help their injured workers return to work and to provide wage loss compensation while they are injured.
What is the level of overpayment in FECA?
Improper payments?
Yeah.
0.1%.
How much?
0.1%.
0.1%.
As measured by our Office of Chief Financial Officer for the past several years.
Would the conversion from FECA to retirement allow broader survivor benefits?
The conversion to, if you will, from FECA to FERS, for example, would not expand the survivors' benefits. It would create some challenges between us and obviously the Office of Personnel Management. That is why we suggest the conversion to a 50% level, which more closely relates to the retirement benefits from OPM.
Your testimony, Mr. Steinberg, states that less than 2% of all new injury cases remain on the periodic roll 2 years after the date of injury. How does this compare to the private sector and State programs?
That's something that we'll research for you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. What percentage of time does OWCP staff devote to the management of new FECA disability claims or cases versus screening long-term disability cases, and is it an appropriate mix?
We have evolved that over time. When the program began, there was a major focus on review, adjudication, the payment. Over the last many years, as I talked about, we've been able to impact the return-to-work rate significantly, and that's because we've applied a more balanced approach to dealing with the front end of the process, but also the return to work. And we've made significant improvements in that arena, sir.
In Mrs. Rodriguez's written testimony, she indicates that many Federal employees are going into debt due to DOL rejecting a claim or taking too long to process it. Do you have statistics on the 15% of claims that are rejected in a given year?
Sir, if you could clarify the nature. The 15%, those are claims that we've reviewed, have been determined to be non-work-related injuries, and we gain that through the evidence and through the discussions with the claimant themselves.
So is it a fair accusation that the accepted claims are not processed in a timely manner?
No, I believe that the accepted claims are processed in a timely manner. We can submit for the record data that shows the timeliness associated with our claim submission. On average, the average claim is processed within 16 days. 94% of our claims are processed within 1 month. These beat the standards that we've established with OMB, yet we will continue to try to push to lower those numbers.
Thank you. And if you could submit the information on the timeliness, we'd appreciate that. Mr. Rodriguez, do you think it's appropriate that some Federal employees continue to receive FECA benefits well past retirement age, in some cases at the age of 98?
Thank you for getting that. I think there is room for some improvement in that area. Certainly, people who would retire normally, I just think our basic concern here is making things more equitable and not having the worker suffer a loss if they would have continued to work. And so something that is more equitable to what they would have been receiving in retirement would be acceptable. And I know some of the proposals have looked at what OPM would do. We think 50% is not the right amount. People who continue to work, they would have access to their higher 3 average salaries would be higher than when they stopped working. They would have had the opportunity to contribute to their thrift savings programs. Things like that other people who are not injured would have access to. We don't want to shortchange the people who did get hurt and were not able to continue to make those contributions into retirement.
And you offered several suggestions in your written testimony on how to improve DOL's FECA reform proposal. Do you have any cost estimates on your reforms?
No, I do not.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.